Hey folks, it's Farrell with Crowd Surfing. We come all the way to Draper, Utah to see the world premiere of the new movie Kings of Crash. We decided they're doing the party here in Draper because the drivers from all over the state. Draper's a central location. So let's go inside and let's see what it's all about. I'm here with
Johnny Gullo.
And Johnny, apparently you've been a little bit busy. I think the last time I talked to you was for the Crash for Cops, correct?
Actually, yeah, after Crash for Cops, we did our normal 6 derbies for Stir and Dirt, and then we got picked up by Velocity to do Kings of Crash reality show, and we ended up doing 8 shows in 12 weeks.
Alrighty, I'm here with
Dalton Gullo.
Jerry Gullo.
And can you tell me a little bit about what it was like to actually do this show, compete against your dad, and a lot of the guys have been doing it for a long time, because I don't think you've been doing it quite as long as everybody else, have you?
Oh, no, I haven't been doing it for that long, but I've been a part of it.
For that long.
Been a part of it just as long as anybody, but it was way exciting. I mean, how many people can say they do what they love and are on TV for it?
Alrighty, I'm here with
Jared Lazenby.
Jared, I've seen a couple of the clips that you guys have posted on the internet and stuff, and why are you the only one going to the hospital in all of them?
I don't know. I had a rough year last year.
Yeah, I was like, I don't remember Jared ever getting hurt that much.
No, I think it was a lack of sleep last year. Kind of had a little bit to do with it. Just pushing my body a little bit too much.
That had to be a lot of car building, right? I mean,
it was a lot of car building, a lot of scrambling, a lot of duct tape, a lot of wire.
So, have you seen the show yet at all?
We've seen episode 1. That's what we're here to see tonight. And episode 1 looks great, and we know it only gets better as it goes.
So you think it's a true portrayal, or do you think it's like, because I know some of these reality shows, they aren't really reality. They throw a little bit of story in there, it seems to me.
Yeah, a lot of the concern that we've heard from the Derby guys is this can be staged and this and that. This is not. This is reality, because what happens in the car is in the car. The pits are real. The arena's real, as you know. You can't cut and retake what's going on in the Derby arena.
I've got pictures of Dalton when he was about this big chasing a pig through one of the Derby arenas at one of the derbies we did. I got pictures of it. I don't know if I gave you guys copies of it, but it's actually kind of funny to see him now, because I saw the trailer for the show. I was like, holy smokes, Dalton's awesome. What's up with that? He was chasing a pig like 15 minutes ago, and now he's on TV.
All grown up.
Doing a lot of building and driving, and
I built every one of my cars, and I hit all 8 shows. So
and then back to your regular job during the day.
Yep.
That's got to take a toll on you, huh?
Yeah. Thank God for good pit guys. They were at my house every night. So every night and every morning.
It really shows behind the scenes, what we go through personally with our families, the bumps and bruises we get over the season, the money that's involved, the time away from our families, and they do a really good job of portraying all that.
Yeah, I think, because you hear a lot of people, because back when I was doing a lot of the derbies and stuff, you hear people say, bunch of rednecks, what do you just take the windows out of a car and go crash? And I tell them, build one and come, and then talk about how toothless rednecks we are. It's tough. There's a lot more to it than people think.
Exactly.
So, how'd you do? Did you ever beat your dad or any of them guys?
Well, in the Davis County Fair, I actually placed first and he placed second. So, and then I want to say what was the other one you drove in with me? I can't remember. I've been a part of so many derbies. It's just
a lot, huh?
Yeah.
But you build them. You just got the guys to help you out a little bit here and there, right?
Yep. I do all the welding for the most part. I mean,
so the question
and stuff like that, they help out.
The question I have for you is, because I've been around the derbies for a while, and I've seen you drive a lot, and you always have sandbagger racing. I mean, dude, you're always in it big time. I don't ever think I've ever seen you sandbag. What's the reasoning behind that? Is it kind of the same reason they call bald guys hairy? Is that what it is?
Yeah, well, episode 1, The Kings of Crash, will explain it a little bit.
You can look at TJ's car here and just see all the work that goes into it. The welding alone anymore is just absolutely outrageous why we do this. But the money we put in the motors, the rear ends, the insides, we do a lot of geometry. It's a lot of mental math goes into building these cars to make them bend the way we want them to bend and hold up the way we need them to hold up. Because to be competitive, you got to spend the money.
What did Dad say? You guys did 8 for the show? Is that
8 and 12 weeks for the show?
So how did your guys' relationship do as far as building cars and doing all that work together? How many times did you kill one another?
No, it was probably one of the best.
Brought him closer.
Yeah, one of the best bonding experience I've had with him. So, I mean, we spent hours and hours in the shop just building the cars. So,
Well, right on. Well, hey, you guys are busy. A lot of meeting and greeting to do. You'll probably sign a bunch of autographs when this is over with, I'm sure. So I'll let you get back to work. But
We're here, so.
oh, you guys got it. Yes, nice. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks.
You always put on a show, man. It's always all the time. I don't think I've ever seen you worry about is my car going to last to the next seat. It just seems like you go for it.
No, I've tried to get a little bit smarter. You know, winning Mad Dog doesn't pay your bills or pay for your car. So I try to pick and choose my hits, but it don't work out most of the time.
When you got a good one, you just got to go for it, huh?
Yep, get the crowd on their feet.
All righty, man. Well, hey, I'll let you go, but thanks for talking with me, man. All righty, I'm here with
Gumby.
Hey, Gumby. I talked to Johnny earlier, and how do you think? Asking about the show and how it portrays true to life, how derbying is. How do you think it's gonna turn out?
You know, most of the show I think is going to be dead on. I mean, realistically, when you see the show and you get to the opportunity to see what happens in the car, that's what Fisher did so well, is they were able to put you inside the car with 5 cameras and be able to see what your body does. So that part of the derbying is very real in the show. Also, a lot of the bickering going on a little bit in the pits is real. So I think they did a fantastic job, actually.
Now, I've heard people say cars are hard to get a hold of, and you hear a bunch of people talking on the internet how much these cars are costing nowadays. And I know some people were smart and was buying them up when they were still relatively inexpensive, but how hard are cars, like say the average Joe wants to get a competitive car, go in and crash it, what are his chances?
Actually, what we started is the stock class heats and the 80s and newer heats, because the old iron like these, they are hard to find and they are expensive to get. But to get the new guys in the sport, we started stock class shows, which are easy builds. They don't have to go out and go against a monster like this. But then we also did the 80s and newer, so they can take a knife to a knife fight, not a knife to a gunfight when it comes to fighting.
Howdy, I'm here with
Scooter.
Scooter. I have been talking to a couple of other drivers, and I asked them the same question. How close to actual people watching this, how close is it to being a real derby? A real derby show, as far as the time you guys put in the car, the work, the stuff that happens.
You know, the best thing about this, in my opinion, is Velocity and Fisher Productions done an amazing job capturing the actual behind-the-scenes stuff that nobody else gets to see. The hard work, the dedication, the pain and suffering that, as you know, drivers go through, that everybody that watches derbies don't know and don't see it. So they've done a great job capturing the real lives of a demolition derby driver.
You know, I've been around derbies a long time, and I've never known to be there just a little bit of bickering. A matter of fact,
you know, usually you see the bickering, though, it's between the promoter and the drivers. They really get in and really, when you get that little bit of competition going with drivers and filming, you know, the drivers got a little chippy, and it was a lot of fun this year. I mean, you know, I come in as the nice Mormon guy, which I am, but it was like, oh, I got to have a piece of that. I'm going to make a comment about that. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun.
yeah, that's a serious car. There's a lot of time. That's one thing that I don't. There's a lot of time into these cars, and it'll be nice if you get credit for what you actually do instead of not what everybody thinks you do.
Exactly, and to see what we actually go through, because you've been around long enough to know that this is not a hobby. This is a lifestyle that you do, and if you don't, you're just a passing phase through the derby system. But as much as 20 years I've been doing it, Gumby's been doing it for 20 plus years, most of these guys, and it's just what we live to do.
Yeah, it's a good time for sure. All righty, well, I'll let you get back to the party, but appreciate you talking to me. Thanks, man.
Thanks.
So people that don't know, they can watch this and know you guys just aren't grabbing just any run-of-the-mill car and busting the glass out and going. You hear people say, all you need is a big boat, and you just go out there and run.
Yeah, those days are gone. This is no backyard redneck sport like the world thinks it is, and that's what's so exciting about this show is it's a first look, the first time they've captured exactly what goes on behind the scenes of a demolition derby, and it's exciting. I know all the drivers are exciting. I have a lot of family that's just ecstatic about that aspect of it, so it's going to be good.
I found a lot of times when you're out in the arena and you're officialing, man, the drivers give it to you good, but not just the drivers. A lot of times the drivers are the more level-headed ones. It's people in the audience, the crowd, the family, and the friends. Those are the ones that you got to deal with. They're the worst.
My favorite, I think the favorite thing that's ever been said to me, I got done with the derby, and I saw a kid at the fence yelling, "Come on over here, see me, come over." And I always try to cater to the kids to make sure they have a fun experience. And I walked up and I looked at the kid and I thought he wanted to make a fun comment. He goes, "Gumby." I go, "What?" And he goes, "You suck." And I was like, whoa, what was this about? And I go, "What'd you say that for?" He says, "Because you just beat up on my dad." And so, that was probably my favorite time. I was like, that's awesome. It was great.
All right, I'm here with
TJ McPhee.
And TJ, can you tell me a little bit? I've talked to Gumby. I've talked to think of his name in a minute. I forgot him already. Stern Dirt. Johnny, thank you. Sorry, Johnny. I was talking to Johnny earlier, and I was just curious, how close do you think the show is going to portray what it's actually like to Derby?
Honestly, derbying is one thing you can't fake. You really can't. I mean, what happens out in the arena, that's what's happening. I mean, these guys come in, Fisher Productions, Velocity, and filmed it as it basically took place. There is no screenplay. This is Derby, Utah style, exactly how it happens. And, honestly, it doesn't get much better.
The first time I ever was in a Derby ever in my life, I had this old POS car that I just took out there because I thought that's all you need, And the heat that I drew, they're like, "Oh, man, you got Scooter. You better look out, Scooter. He goes after it." And I'm like, I ain't worried about this guy. Well, next thing I know, I just come hopping along, and here he comes right over the front of my car. I didn't even hit anybody. You took me out first chance. I worked on that car for like the better part of an hour.
Well, I'd like to say I'm sorry, but isn't that what we're out there for?
That's exactly what they're out for. I was just hoping for a better outcome. I think the worst that ever happened to me was I had rocks thrown at me. You ever had rocks or anything like that thrown? Yeah.
I've never had rocks. I've actually, back in the day, I had Todd Stewart's, and we got in a big brawl with Todd Stewart's group, and it was the women that caused it. Women always cause it.
Go figure, huh?
Yeah, go figure. But I was escorted out by a bunch of horse-mounted patrolmen. They walked me out of the arena, escorted me out so that something wouldn't happen. So that's the worst crazy thing that's ever happened.
All righty, well, hey, you're busy. I'll let you get back to what you're doing, but thanks for talking with me. Appreciate it.
When they come out there, you see the drama, you see the rollover, the hits. That's all how it happens. That's nothing fake about it. And Derby, in general in Utah, is always hard hitting and fast paced. And you can tell when you watch the show, the crowds and stuff get into it. They love it. They love Derby, and I hope that you love the show. And it is a real accurate portrayal of the show.
I hate to spoil your fun, but that's what we're there for, and that's a great thing. And you do get the guys like you, your first timers that get into the sport, and they don't have a clue what the sport's about, and it's a wake-up call. And those are the drivers I'm trying to help, is the rookies that don't know anything about it that want to get into the sport. And that's my newfound goal, is to help these rookies, progress in the sport.
All right, I'm here with
Eric Dean.
And Eric, can you tell me a little bit? I don't think you're on the show, but how are you affiliated with the Derbies? What have you done?
Well, I met Scooter back, early 90s, and started working with him, building cars, going to Derbies with him, and learning about the demolition derby sport. And over the years, learning how to build the cars. And then I also, competed in a couple of the heats too, but it's too hard on my body to do it. But now I've been working with Stern Dirt and with Intrepid Motorsports, being a track official.
I've done a few derbies outside of the state, and I have to say, I think, and maybe I'm being prejudiced here, but I think people in Utah, they seem to go for it. They hit hard. There's times when I just cringe when I see them guys going. I've been around them for a long time. A question I got for you, somebody who has no idea about these cars. How much time and effort do you have into a car like this?
Well, this is actually my car, believe it or not. We brought it here for tonight. And this particular car, I will bet you I have 200 plus hours in this.
I've been in too many derbies to count, and I've been there, done that with this sport. And my goal is to see the sport survive and succeed, because it's a dying sport, because the cars are getting harder to find. They're more money, and with Xboxes and social media, kids don't like to spend time working on cars, so we're going to try to rejuvenate that and keep the sport alive.
But it's worth every dollar and every second you spend on it, right?
Absolutely. Every dime, every dollar, it's worth it.
Right on. Well, hey, I'll let you get back talking to people, but I appreciate you talking to me. Thanks, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Have you seen any of the show at all?
I'm going to say no.
Okay, because I've seen some of the clips on it. From what I see, it looks good. So, hopefully it
It's going to be good. It's going to be really good.
So hopefully it portrays it in a real light and not something that's kind of made up, because derbying's a lot of work. It's hard work, and I don't think people realize it, you know?
You know, it's another thing, too, is that I build a lot of custom cars. You know, hot rods, I've built a number of them over my lifespan, and I've got thousands of dollars tied up into those and a lot of hours tied into them. And to restore a car with the hours on that as opposed to the hours of building a derby car, there's more hours into building a competitive derby car than there is into restoring a hot rod.
To build on one car for 2 months is not out of the ordinary here. And really, this is a limited weld derby car. I mean, there is guys that take it to this level and beyond. And you know, I'd like to think it's very well built. You know, don't let me fool you. But you can tell. I mean, this isn't grandma's car. This is a derby car. We put safety cages in them, modified the motors. There's not a lot on this car that has been modified to help us out in that derby arena, either for safety or for strength.
All right, I'm here with
Josh Turnbow.
And Josh, can you tell me a little bit, because I'm trying to word this question a little different than I have everybody else, because I keep asking the same stupid question. This show, have you seen an episode of it yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. So being around it and the filming of it, how close do you think it's going to portray real derby? I mean, as far as the time, the effort, the driving.
Well, I think with building the cars, it takes, months to build, 3 months to build and countless hours. So it's kind of hard to put that all into a TV show, but I think it'll be pretty accurate, and we're all pretty excited to watch it tonight.
I've heard a lot of people say, why do you spend all that time and just go crash that car? That seems ridiculous. And I say to them, well, things that are ridiculous to me are like great big giant humongous stereos in your car. But people love it. So, to each his own.
Pick your poison. Exactly. Pick your poison. And they say with racing, derby is another form of racing. And, once you get a taste of it, it's in your blood, man. These guys they go out, they love it.
It is.
What's that?
You did an official one for the Derby Promotion?
Yeah,
he doesn't really. This guy doesn't really know one thing he's talking about. He's clueless when it comes to building a car.
So, well, what are you hanging around with him for then?
I just got to learn how he cheats, so I'm trying to learn.
So, is Gumby your mentor? Is that what it is?
Well, I wouldn't say that, not by a long shot, but he's been doing it for a minute, and I have stole some of his ideas. So.
He's stealing your ideas.
He's actually teaching every week. I'm like, oh, that's not a bad idea. I'm gonna start just stealing his ideas now.
So you're just improving on his ideas. You're like, well, he kind of knew what he was doing, but he's an idiot. I'm gonna fix it.
No, I'm taking some stuff from back east and trying to bring it out here. And Gumby's he's been doing it for so long.
He's gonna give all the promoters a headache.
How many derbies do you think you've done over your entire life?
Probably I do about 3 a year, and about last 6 years I've been doing them.
So, okay, here's a loaded question, because I know if I ask any driver, I'm going to get a different answer entirely. Where's the toughest place to derby? Where are the hardest hits at? Where are the toughest drivers at?
Oh, that's got to be the Ogden Arena, Johnny's 4th of July Derby. That one's going to be the best one.
The Hot Rockin' 4th?
Absolutely.
That actually draws a lot of drivers from all over the place, just not in the state.
Yeah, there's California, Montana, Wyoming, Colorado. They come from everywhere. It's a big payout, and it's well worth it for the hits. So.
All right, man. Well, hey, I appreciate your time. I'll let you get back to eating, but thanks for talking with me.
Thank you.
All right, I'm here with
Clay Stewart.
Clay, can you tell me a little bit of the reason why you come down here tonight?
Well, I'm a fellow Derby driver, so I just come down here to support these guys, hope the show goes well and everything else.
So are we going to see you anywhere on the show?
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I ran Heber City this year, so we'll see if I make the show or not.
Not one of the guys that got beat up, though, will you?
No, I wasn't one of the guys that got beat up. So that's a good thing, right?
Yeah, well, you got a Derby. Usually that's what happens. That happens to me when I do it.
The overall goal of Derby is to be the last car running at the end of the night, right? So you can tell we take a lot of time to make sure we're that car.
So where are we going to see you run this car? Do you know yet?
I do. Actually, Stern Dirt is putting a show on in May, and it's a team show. And it'll be in Ogden, Golden Spike Arena. The exact date's escaping me right now, but we can definitely get that for you. And you can look on the Reckless Racing website too and see the date there. But this show, it's going to that Derby in May with Stern Dirt.
I don't derby, but I like to work on the cars, and I love to be ringside to watch what's going on. Mostly I keep an eye on the guys out there, man. There's a lot of officials that keep an eye on the cars for the hits, but I watch the guys, man, because that's violent. Those guys take a lot of hits out there, and they go flying around. So
they do take a beating, that's for sure. All right, Merrick. Well, hey, I appreciate you talking to me, man. Thanks.
Good talking to you, Farrell.
You too.
Take care, man.
You too. I was hoping to start a fight with you guys, and then we got something to watch later in the arena. No, not a physical fight here, but in the arena, you guys might take exception and want to,
Oh, I figure when we get in the arena, we've never really hit each other, so I think we'll do it just for the fun of it.
No, I drive in his shows and he drives in mine for the most part. I don't think we've ever gone head to head. So
no problem.
Make it happen this time. Is this your?
I'm driving Hot Rockin', so if he's
I think let's do it, brother. I won't turn away from nothing.
No, I'm bringing a caddy and he'll probably have a snapper wagon. So
Do you drive though? Correct.
Yes, I drive. Yeah.
So, where do you think the best place in the state of Utah to derby is? Where's the hardest hits, the best drivers? What show do they usually show up at? And don't be prejudiced and say,
Well, my hometown, I don't have a derby there, so I can't be that prejudiced. But I would say probably like Camas. Camas was one of the hardest hitting shows this year for sure.
So a lot of you guys going to be down there for that? Johnny and Gumby and all them guys are going to be down there? Or you think they're scared of you? They don't want to come see you?
They'll definitely be there. These guys aren't scared of me. I mean, they build cars too. I mean, we do this because we love the sport, and that's why we're here. We all love it, and they will definitely be there to try to put a dent in this bad boy.
Alrighty, man. Well, hey, I appreciate you talking to me. I'll let you get back to doing what you're doing, but appreciate it.
Nope, thank you.
I've been involved with demolition derbies since the late 90s, and I've never been to a derby in Camas, but I hear they're brutal. I hear they really go for it.
Yeah, well, this was my first year ever of running Heber City, and it turned out to be pretty ugly with two people leaving in the ambulance. So, yeah.
So, how many shows did you hit this year?
I ran 5 or 6 shows this year. So
you're pretty busy too then.
Last year, I should say.
Yeah, whenever, I don't know. There's snow on the ground. There's no derbies right now.
Yes, that's right. So.
Alrighty, cool. Hey, I appreciate your time. Thanks for talking with me.
Thank you.
It'll be fun.
Where do you get all your snapper wagons at?
I've collected them for 20 years now. I've got 23 of them sitting in a field. So
really? Yeah, people drive by and ask, hey, are any of them station wagons for sale?
Absolutely. 20 times a year, and I'm like, no, they're not.
It's usually Scooter or Johnny that's asking.
No, if they call Johnny and ask, I say, if you sell any of my wagons, I'm going to... So...
That'd be a pretty good business deal for Johnny, though. He has nothing in them and sells them.
Oh, except for I'd go and sell all those Buicks, and he wouldn't like that either. So... All right, let's get some...
all right, it's time to eat. All righty, folks. Hey, thanks for watching. Hope you check out the show, see what it's all about, and come check out a demolition derby or two.